Yo, what's going on everybody? Probably going to be quite a short video, and this is random. It's like a little bit out of sync with the rest of the videos that are going on right now. But title of today's video is BUYEE.JP a scam? Now, before I say anything further, I want to just clarify that this video isn't supposed to be me like hating on BUYEE. I'm not trying to slander their name. I'm not trying to claim that they are a scam. That's why there is a question mark next to it. This video is more so just to have that open conversation with you guys about your experiences, my experience with this website. And if you're here and it's not related to cars, I'm very much talking from the perspective of somebody who is trying to buy car parts from BUYEE or using BUYEE to get car parts from Japan. If that's not you, you're getting comics or whatever other stuff from Japan, this may not be relevant, but I mean, watch it anyway. The point of the video is to have an open discussion, discuss my experience, and then in the comment section, I want you guys to leave your personal experiences that you've had with this company. So yeah, what is BUYEE.JP? It is kind of like a middleman for getting stuff from Japanese auctions. So they have like Yahoo auctions in Japan. You can quite easily find tons of like parts for Japanese cars, rare aftermarket body kits, stuff like that, for really, really good deals. And then BUYEE is basically one, like they'll translate everything for you, but they're like the people that can win the auction, get delivery like of your parts, and then they can ship them or consolidate and ship them to you in the US or wherever you're at. That's what it's supposed to be for. I guess I can touch on my experience with BUYEE a little bit, which actually when I had planned to record this video, which was a week ago, my kind of opinion on BUYEE would have been slightly different. I'm still a little bit on edge about it, but I did just have something delivered that kind of changed my mind a little bit. But anyway, my first experience with BUYEE was that I had searched around on there to try and find magazines. I wanted a bunch of the VIP style magazines from specifically 2009 because the demo car from Vleen that had my body kit, which is not on the car because it's off getting repairs, but it's like a one-off body kit, and it was on a demo car in 2009. I was trying to find a picture in a magazine of that car so I'd have like a physical image. I have pictures of it online, I just want like a physical image in a magazine. And so I bought a bunch of the VIP style magazines in 2009. I didn't buy them in 2009. They were from 2009. Basically, this was back in October. It is April now. Obviously, COVID, I think, played a big part in it. But once all of the magazines and stuff got delivered to BUYEE's warehouse, I had them consolidate because they came from different places, and I'm not going to ship each magazine individually. It makes no sense. So I had them put together in one package. And then that process maybe took a week, and then I had them shipped to the US. Now, at the time, I didn't particularly want to spend like a whole bunch of money to have them air shipped. It really didn't matter when they got here. The car's not going to be ready for a while. I didn't need it. So I just clicked the cheapest option, which I believe was like EMS, or it's basically they're going to go on a ship. And I didn't realize at the time that EMS was like suspended. Japan Post was not shipping anything from Japan. I think DHL was the only thing that was actively shipping stuff because of COVID. I didn't realize this at the time, but I clicked the cheapest option, and basically for months hadn't heard a single thing, nothing. I've checked tracking, it just basically shows that they had been shipped. It didn't show that they were stuck in customs, just no idea. And I was like, you know, whatever. I spent maybe like $100 on magazines and shipping. If they don't show up, they don't show up. It's whatever. All right, so the reason that I say that my opinion like a week ago would have been completely different is because obviously I hadn't heard a single thing, and then this morning I left to come here and there was a package for me from Japan Post, and I opened it and it was magazines. So yes, it took a very long time, and I'm pretty sure it is because Japan Post was suspended, blah, blah, blah. Now, that's not the reason that I'm like questioning if BUYEE is a scam or not. The reason I'm questioning if it's a scam is because I recently, in January, bought a set of side skirts for my car. and I won the auction. They were shipped from the seller to BUYEE as one package. One package. I got tracking for one single package. And then once they arrived, and I was notified that they arrived and checked with BUYEE, there was 2 packages. I was like, okay, that's weird. And so it turned out that then each skirt was in its own packaging. Now that's not what I received from the seller. A little bit confused about it, but I was like, okay, you know, it makes no sense for each skirt to be separate. I'm not going to pay for them to get shipped separately. So I asked BUYEE, can you please consolidate, put both the skirts together and ship them together? You apply for the consolidation service. It says it's supposed to take maybe like a week or two. A week or two passed, nothing had changed, no updates. I thought that was a little bit weird. And then a month passed, no updates. About 6 weeks passed, still no updates. I decided to reach out to them. I emailed them. I was like, hey, I applied for the consolidation service and I haven't heard anything. What's going on? And I didn't hear anything back, but the next day I woke up with an email to say that they had canceled the consolidation service. They didn't say specifically for what reason, they just listed a bunch of reasons why it could have been canceled. I was like, okay, that's weird. So I emailed them again, asking them, following up from my previous email, and I did actually get a response. They basically said that it didn't meet EMS's requirements, and so they couldn't put the skirts together, which I think is a little weird, because if their requirement is based off of the size, each skirt is exactly the same size. And so if you put them together, it's not actually going to be any bigger. It's going to be slightly wider because they're going to go next to each other, but it's not going to be any longer, it's not going to be any bigger. And so I was a little confused by this, and so I was like, is there any other option? And they said you can have it consolidated to DHL's requirements. And I was like, okay, let's do that. And they said, just do the consolidation service again, like apply for it, and then email us and tell us that that's what you want to do. So that's exactly what I did. I emailed them, told them DHL or FedEx requirements, whatever is going to work, and I didn't get any response to like confirm that I told them that. And the same process. Weeks went by, nothing happened. I sent them an email again. I was like, hey, what's going on? Same thing happened. They canceled the consolidation and basically just no response. So I emailed them again. I was like, hey, what's going on? Why can't you consolidate these? They basically just told me that it doesn't meet the requirements. And I asked them, I asked for you guys to do it to DHL requirements, and they didn't reply. They didn't say anything about DHL. And so at this point, now my skirts are just like sitting there. I've applied to do consolidation again and emailed them and told them, hey, do it to DHL requirements, and nothing. I'm a little bit confused because from the jump, the skirts were shipped as one package. And now I'm getting suspicious that they separated each skirt and basically are just trying to get more money out of me. The quote that I got for shipping for each skirt was $450 per skirt to ship to the US. If they're both together shipped via DHL, it should be like $300 or $400, and that's it. And so it's crazy that they would like separate them, and I'm suspicious that they separated them on purpose. But then again, I'm not trying to accuse anybody of anything. I just have no idea what's going on. But there's a little bit more to it. So after all of this, I obviously took to social media, asked some people if they knew any import-export people that could help me out. Somebody recommended Jesse Streeter. They're a pretty popular brand, or pretty popular import-export company. They've been doing it for a long time. And so I reached out to them and asked them what their thoughts were, if there was anything that they could do. I got a very, very quick response, which was amazing. Thank you to those guys. They probably emailed me back in like an hour, but I'll throw it up on the screen. Basically, to summarize, they just said that BUYEE is renowned for ripping people off, refusing to ship stuff, and basically pushing you to the point where you just pay more money to have your stuff shipped, or you just abandon it and then they like keep the stuff. So they also said that like people don't like, importers don't really want to get involved because it's super complicated, and yeah, basically this is why you should go through an import-export company instead of trying to do it yourself, which now that totally makes sense, and that's probably what I will do in the future. I now don't have those skirts. I have no idea what's going on with them. Probably here in a few days, they're gonna start charging me a storage fee to keep them there. And so I may just end up abandoning them, and it is what it is. Thankfully, the skirts that I bought, I only actually spent like $130 on them. I've spent a little bit more money than that on getting them shipped to the warehouse and then the consolidation fees and stuff. So maybe all in all, still under $200. So it's not the complete end of the world. I didn't spend the $450 per skirt to get them shipped to the US and then they disappear. So it is what it is, and I'm kind of totaling up to a loss right now. But yeah, this video is pretty much sharing my experience, and then I want to open a discussion in the comments section where you guys can let me know on your experience. Try to keep things that you've heard to a minimum. I don't really want to like slander a company. It could just be, you know, one individual or two individuals at that company that are like trying to scam people, not the whole company. So let me know what your experience is with BUYEE, and hopefully it wasn't as bad as mine. But on the outside, I think BUYEE looks like a really cool service. You're able to, you know, buy parts for your car from Japan auctions at like a good price, and then they'll ship them to you. Everything seems fairly reasonable. I know it can get pretty expensive, but I've heard some good things about it too. You know, people getting skirts for super cheap and then having them shipped for maybe $300, and that all sounds very appealing. But once you get into like some complicated shit like I have, I don't want to do it again. So yeah, is BUYEE a scam? Let me know in the comments below. And some better news, because I couldn't get those skirts in Japan and I'm kind of on a bit of a time crunch to finish this car or get it somewhat ready for paint, I bought a set of skirts in the US. Been trying to get aim gain skirts forever so that I can trade for the Vleen skirts that match my kit. It's a whole different story. Some of you guys already know that. But I bought another set of skirts. They're a little unique. They're actually pretty rare. I massively overpaid for them. I'm happy to admit that. But the plan is I'm gonna like make them into a custom one-piece, one-off skirt, which is gonna be sweet, and I will go over that in the next video. Yeah. Let me know in the comments below. I appreciate you guys tuning in, and hopefully your BUYEE experience didn't suck as bad as mine did. And yeah, tune in for a video on this car where I talk about those skirts and what I'm doing with them next. But appreciate it, guys.